CyberGhost versus TotalVPN, which one actually works better? Well, I've tried both in the last couple of months, and I'll cover everything that you should know before signing up for them. And if you do decide to check them out, I've added links in the description. CyberGhost is currently offering 84% off plus 4 extra months, and TotalVPN has a deal of 80% off. Or if it's easier, you can also just scan the QR code on screen right now. So I'd gotten to the point where I was just fed up with buffering while streaming and being blocked from websites that everyone else seemed to access without issues. I work in cafes a lot, and I travel pretty often too, so using random public Wi-Fi is kind of a normal part of my week. That also means security is always on my mind. I've seen people recommend CyberGhost and TotalVPN a bunch of times, so I decided to try both. Let's talk about CyberGhost first. The moment I set it up, the thing that really stood out was how massive the server list was. I mean, we're talking about thousands and thousands of servers all across the globe. I think it's somewhere over 11,000 now in more than 100 countries. When I was traveling in Asia, that really came in handy. I didn't have to fight for bandwidth or settle for slow speeds. I could just pick a server nearby and it worked. That was pretty nice because some VPNs fall apart once you leave North America or Europe. And when it comes to design, CyberGhost's layout just makes sense. You open the app and it's not overloaded with complicated options. You get suggestions for streaming or torrenting, and you can even favorite your go-to servers for even quicker access. It actually felt like the app was trying to make things easier for me, which is rare. I don't want to dig through layers of menus when I just want to watch something or get some work done. Now, if privacy's high on your list, you'll probably like this part. CyberGhost is based in Romania, which isn't part of any of those international data sharing alliances. That means less government surveillance risk and more peace of mind. On top of that, they've got an independently audited no logs policy, which is something I always look for. And there are some neat extras like built-in ad and malware blocking. There's also a kill switch on all platforms and a random port connection feature that helped me get around hotel Wi-Fi restrictions. But CyberGhost is not perfect. Some of these settings are just not in the most obvious places. For example, on iOS, the kill switch is labeled differently than on desktop, and it took me a while to even realize it was there. It's not a deal breaker, but it's still kind of annoying. Now, let's talk about TotalVPN because the whole vibe it gives is totally different from CyberGhost. The app is super stripped down. It launches with this giant connection button and a simple way to switch locations. That's kind of really it, which honestly makes it really easy to use. If you're new to VPNs or just want something that's simple, TotalVPN nails that. Both mobile and desktop versions are basically identical, so there's no learning curve when switching devices. Even with a smaller server list, which sits at around 50 locations across 30 or so countries, I was still able to access a few different Netflix libraries without much trouble. Speeds did take a hit, but it didn't actually feel that slow while browsing or watching shows. It just meant that downloads weren't lightning fast. And I will say the locations they do offer are well spread out, so I never felt like I was stuck in one corner of the world. Android gets a few more options like split tunneling and protocol switching, which is nice, but TotalVPN definitely has room to grow. The privacy policy could use more clarity, and I'd love to see more global servers, especially outside of the usual US and Europe zones. There aren't many advanced tools either. No ad blocking, no dedicated streaming servers, no deep customization, so it's more of a lightweight option. And yeah, the DNS issue is something that needs fixing if they want to compete with the bigger names in the space. So which one's the better pick? I think it depends on what you want from your VPN. If all you're looking for is something clean and simple that just lets you connect, browse, and stream with minimal setup, TotalVPN does that pretty well. It's perfect for casual use or for someone who doesn't care about tinkering with settings. But if you're after more flexibility, stronger privacy, better global coverage, and tools that go a bit beyond the basics, then CyberGhost definitely pulls ahead, especially if you're like me and use your VPN while traveling, streaming, downloading, and working on public Wi-Fi pretty much every day. Personally, I'm sticking with CyberGhost. The larger server network and those Romania-based privacy protections really won me over. I also noticed that streaming just felt smoother thanks to their optimized servers. That made it easier to access the shows I wanted without constantly switching regions or troubleshooting slow connections. But if you're already using something like TotalAV's antivirus and you want something that works quietly in the background, TotalVPN might be all you need. So if you're thinking about trying either of them out, you can grab the deals through the links in the description or by scanning the QR code on screen. Right now, CyberGhost is offering 84% off plus 4 extra months for free, and TotalVPN has a discount of 80% off.